Your 20s are chaotic, it's messy, and it feels like someone dropped you in the middle of a Fortnite map with nothing but your balls and your hand. New relationships, new jobs, moving out of your hometown or your house in general, starting a business, achieving your dream physique. In a decade of chaos, how do you find that mental clarity to achieve your goals and find your purpose? What do you need to do to develop that mental clarity in your 20s? I'm just going to hook this on quickly because I like to use my hands when I speak, so bear with me for just 2 seconds. Okay, now that's clipped up. Point 1, take care of your body. Now, taking care of your body is very vague, right? So we can split this into 3 parts. The first one is taking care of your body, aka physical activities. This could either mean going to the gym, it could either mean going for a run, learning to do a sport, anywhere where you get blood flow into your body and you develop the mental clarity. Gym, I'm talking about 3 to 5 times a week, running 2 to 3 times a week, and martial art maybe doing 3 to 4 times a week. During the week, you need to have consistent level of physical activity. When you do physical activity, blood rushes to your brain and it gives you that little high after you train. A lot of creatives, just like me, use this period of time after the exercise, when they're on that high, to develop ideas and get clarity on their goals and what they want in life. Physical activity improves mood, helps with memory, and it helps with focus. So it is highly recommended that you do some sort of physical activity, whatever it may be. Pick one that you can stick to consistently, running, strength training, martial arts, and you stick to that week in, week out. Now, the second part to this is prioritizing your sleep. Understand, especially in your 20s, I would say your sleep is an absolute must. You need sleep to recover. Going back to my first point, if you're doing some sort of physical activity, you need sleep to recover. Not only that, when you have a full 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night, the next morning you feel fresh, you feel rejuvenated. Your lack of sleep will cloud your decision making and your problem solving. And you see this time and time again. You know, you might have a friend or a colleague who just never goes to sleep. Maybe they're playing video games all night and they sleep at 2, 3 a.m. They get up at 8 and they're just slow. They're sluggish, they're slow, they're not quick on their feet. They don't have that mental clarity to fire their brain. So I highly suggest you prioritize your sleep. And if you don't take it from me, you can take it from Andrew Huberman. I'm sure he has 100,000 podcasts talking about why sleep is so fucking important. And I would say that if you're spending a third of your life sleeping, it is something you should invest in. And that means getting a better mattress, make sure your room is clean or the air is clean, and make sure the temperature is at a very low temperature where you can sleep. Prioritize your sleep. And lastly, it is eating the right foods for your brain. I'm talking about salmon for your omega-3s, vegetables, which I admit, I don't fucking eat my vegetables, okay? Getting a high protein diet, eating nuts, things that are so macronutrient dense that it replenishes your brain. The saying goes, you are what you eat. And I 100% agree. If you ever eat shit food, like a bag of crisps, a doner kebab, a pizza, the moment you finish that meal, you just feel like shit. Your gut isn't processing the food properly because it's processed food. And so your gut health affects your mental brain or your mental health. I beg of you, eat clean foods. It really does make a big difference in developing mental clarity and affecting your brain the next morning. And this is very similar to when you eat too much carbs. When you have too much carbs, you have brain fog. The best time to develop mental clarity is mostly in the morning. Cup of coffee, empty stomach, that's when your brain is on fire. So try to avoid carbs in the morning as well. But if you do decide to eat, make sure it is the right foods and it is the clean foods, which is good for your brain. None of that processed shit. Here's the second step to developing mental clarity. Train your mind. Very simple. Train your mind. What do I mean by this? You need to constantly be learning. So let's take books, for example. I highly suggest that you should be reading books consistently. Preferably every day, but if you don't have the time every day, you should be reading consistently throughout the week. When you read a book, you're expanding your brain and developing new ideas. These new ideas can help you find mental clarity on your goals and on your purpose in life. Books about productivity, books about history, books about leadership, books about philosophy. I'm not saying you have to read 100 books, but picking up a couple books throughout the year will help you develop ideas which you have never thought of before. Books are amazing. I love books. And if you want to expand your mind and you're a bit lost in life, books can definitely help you find the mental clarity needed to help on your goals, on your purpose. And not only that, it helps you challenge your own beliefs and your own ideas. So it helps with critical thinking and it can help with your vocabulary. My vocabulary is shit. I read books. I've got a shit of vocabulary, but it can help with vocabulary if you want to, you know. And the second point to that is you need to stop, and I mean you need to stop doom scrolling. A little tip for you, if you decide to doom scroll, you know, in your downtime, what I highly suggest is either one, you create something which you can post out on social media first, or two, you do something hard before you decide to doom scroll. Doom scrolling is very addictive. The platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, it's designed to keep us on the platform and designed to keep us addicted. That's what they want us to do. So if you decide to fall for their games, make sure you do something worthwhile on your end. You produce content. Always better to produce before you consume. Always keep that habit in mind. Produce before you consume, but preferably really limit doom scrolling. I'm very guilty of this. I'm human, because whenever I try to find inspiration for my reels and Instagram reels and stuff, I end up doom scrolling for like 30 minutes. So do your best to stop doom scrolling, minimize it, and try to produce before you consume, or do something hard before you do doom scrolling. And a little caveat to that, try to do some problem solving games, chess maybe. I love chess. Chess is great. I'm not the best, but a game where you can challenge your mind consistently. It trains your brain, improves your memory, and improves your problem solving skills. And chess is great. I highly suggest you do chess. Chess.com, get on that shit. And if you guys decide you want to add me, I'll fucking wreck you guys. Add me if you want to. Let me know in the comments below. I'll fuck you up on chess.com. All right, number 3. Change your environment. This is very important. You hear it all the fucking time. Change your environment if you want to become better. So let's break this down. This can be broken down into 3 points. Number 1 is surround yourself with more focused people or people who have the same goals as you. I'm going to take my experience, for example. Recently in the last year, I've started to do more networking, go to events, social media events, and I now have friends who do social media, who have 20k, 30k, 100k followers. I'm surrounded by an environment of people who are producing content. So what happens is it motivates me to produce content because I've now shifted my identity to a content creator, just like them. And now this motivates me to produce every day and create content every day and find myself a new path. The best way to change your environment is change the people you hang around with and surround yourself with people who have the same goals. This is very important. You hear it all the time, but I really can't emphasize how important this is. When you shift your identity and you shift your environment and your friends, it is one of the quickest way to achieve your goals, in my opinion. Another way where you can shift your environment to help you find mental clarity, it's very simple and it's the easiest thing you can do. It is declutter your space, clean up your office, clean up your environment, clean up your bedroom. The bed where you sleep in, where you spend 8 hours a day in, you need to clean that shit. Make it tidy. A cluttered space is a cluttered mind. And the cleaner your space is, the cleaner your mind is. And it helps you to think and be more creative. Your brain has room to breathe and it has room to think. There's a reason why the military, first thing in the morning, they clean their bed. The reason they do this is it helps to build momentum throughout the day. They start the day right. And number 2, it helps them to build mental clarity. There's a big reason why the military do it. And I really encourage you to incorporate it in your life. Make sure your room is tidy at all times. Your office and your bedroom. Keep these 2 things tidy and declutter your space. And lastly, this is one a bit more tricky and I don't really have this personally. It's just to seek out mentors. A mentor can definitely help you reach your goals. Nowadays, finding a mentor is very difficult. For like to find a mentor nowadays, you need to have social proof before someone can even teach you along the way. But this is a very 50-50 in my opinion. Some mentors are good, some mentors are bad. It's depending if the mentor is in the same industry as you, and sometimes you do need to have the social proof to find a mentor. You know, I don't, a lot of people don't. So this is up to you. All right, and lastly, the best way you can find mental clarity in your 20s when life is chaotic and shit is being just dumped on you and sometimes you just feel overwhelmed, is to find things that align with your purpose. This means reflecting on your values. What do you believe in? What did you believe in when you were growing up? What ideas and perspectives were pushed on you? Question your beliefs, question your ideas, question your upbringing. Especially in your 20s, you're starting to find yourself and you start to understand what you want out of life and you're starting to understand and create your own perspectives of the world yourself. Does your family values, your financial values, all these, your relationship values, do they all align with your purpose, with you in the end? Question it, write it down, journal. What things in life matter to you the most? To you specifically, nobody else. Not even your parents. What matters to you? Be selfish with these questions and it will allow you to understand yourself much better and find mental clarity. The second point is your 20s are for experimenting. I've tried so many different jobs. I've tried I've done so many jobs in the last 4 years and I'm talking about bartending, doing a 9 to 5, sales, door-to-door sales, club sales. I've done everything. And the older you get, the more things you try, the more you start to understand what aligns with your purpose and what you're really, really good at. And this is not only in terms of jobs, this is in terms of hobbies. Try different hobbies. Try drawing, try coding, try to do content creation, try to do web design. Just try everything. Try everything and see what you're good at and see what sticks. What do you enjoy the most? What type of hobbies do you do which time just flies when you don't even think about it? That's the hobbies that are really most important to you. So in my circumstance, it is going gym, doing content creation, training Muay Thai. When I do these things, my own hobbies, time flies. And this is what gives me peace of mind and clarity in my goals and in my purpose. What is meaningful to you? Try new shit and you'll understand what will be meaningful to you. And this also means traveling. I highly recommend you travel. See the world, meet different people, see different places, see what society is like in different areas. This will give you the mental clarity to expand your mind and see what's truly possible out there in the world. And then you can start to understand which locations align with your values and your purpose and your goals. And maybe you might move there, meet new people, create a new social circle, etc., etc. And the last point for point number 4, which is aligning your purpose, is to set clear goals. Set goals which are measurable, set goals which are achievable, and having goals will keep you on track and keep you focused. It keeps you aligned with your purpose and it keeps you hustling. It keeps you in that momentum of working towards something. And achieving goals releases dopamine in your head and it makes you want to work harder and achieve more. Highly recommend you write down your goals and achieve your goals and work every day towards them. And every time you achieve a goal, you develop that mental clarity on the next step. You're putting one step forward in front of the other. And every time you achieve a goal, your clarity, your mental clarity expands and it becomes much more clear what you want down the line. So yeah, that is it. I really hope this helps. Your 20s are chaotic. Your 20s are messy. I'm 24 years old. It's fucking, you know, a lot of shit is blowing up in my face. Every day I've got a new problem that I need to solve. And so doing these things helps me find mental clarity to tackle my new problems which are coming at me in life. Problems are a good thing. Problems are never gonna go away. You know, life as a man or just in general, there's always gonna be problems. The important thing is finding mental clarity to solve that problem. And if you don't have mental clarity, then the problem just piles up and piles up and piles up. And then that's when you have like a panic attack or some stress or whatever. So it's very important for you to stay calm, think, do the necessary steps where you can find mental clarity and then you can find the next step towards your life and solve all your problems and achieve all your goals. And then we can be happy in the end. I don't fucking know. But I really hope this helps. Try it out. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm gonna do more fitness videos, but I'm gonna do more self-improvement tips as well like these. I enjoy fitness and mental psychology stuff. I love these two things. All right, see you guys next time. Peace.